Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed since last time. Iowa legislators vote to allow children access to guns. You firearm fetishists might want to clip this one for your scrapbook, which I presume has a photograph of Ted Nugent bordered by a hand-drawn heart and the words "shall not be infringed" embossed in gold on the cover. Thanks for hate watching my video, by the way. Every little bit helps. The Iowa State House of Representatives recently passed a bill that would make it legal for children of all ages to handle a pistol, as long as they are doing so under the supervision of a parent. A parent who has no problem with their child handling a pistol. Well, as long as they don't neglect to put them in a car seat, I guess. Clarence Thomas breaks silence to defend gun rights of domestic abusers. Here's another one for the "when you've got the Second Amendment, who needs a brain" file. Last week, famously quiet Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas spoke up during oral arguments for the first time in 10 years. At issue was the constitutionality of a federal law that prohibits people convicted of misdemeanor domestic abuse charges from possessing firearms. Guess which way Justice Thomas seemed to be leaning. If you guessed in favor of the right of convicted domestic abusers, who are 6 times more likely, statistically speaking, to kill a family member with a gun, to own a gun, congratulations! You and would-be heat-packing spouse beaters win! Kentucky bill would strip benefits from same-sex couples. You might think that the Supreme Court ended the debate over same-sex marriage here in the U.S. last year. Well, it didn't. At least not for diehards like Kentucky State Rep. Joe Fisher, who recently introduced legislation to establish a new type of union called matrimony, which would exist alongside marriage, but be open only to different sex couples. Oh, and the bill rewrites state law to make sure that all the privileges and benefits currently available to married couples would only be available to couples in a matrimonial union. Man, I cannot wait to see the look on Joe Fisher's face when he realizes that the Supreme Court struck down same-sex marriage bans because they represent unjust discrimination, not because they use the wrong terminology. Oh, I bet that he's a homophobic dick and he won't even care. Hey, fun fact, did you know that redefining marriage is perfectly alright as long as it only benefits straight people? Donald Trump plays dumb after former Klan leader's endorsement. A little over a week ago, Donald Trump was asked during an interview on CNN if he would disavow David Duke, the most prominent Ku Klux Klan leader of the last 40 years who had recently endorsed Trump's presidential campaign. Trump claimed to not know anything about David Duke or white supremacy. Then, a few days later, after the Super Tuesday primaries, where the votes of some of those white supremacists helped Trump win big, just a guess, Trump did appear on MSNBC and disavow David Duke and the KKK. Well, I guess after Tuesday he had a chance to do a little homework on Duke, the most prominent KKK leader of the last 40 years, during the course of which he may have realized that he had previously renounced Duke in the year 2000. And also a couple of days before that CNN interview where he claimed to not know anything about him. Hey, you want to hear something fucked up? Donald Trump is going to be the Republican nominee. And the Republican Party establishment is starting to panic. Hell, fucking Mitt Romney came out and gave an anti-Trump speech last week. It's very disorienting to find Mitt Romney playing the voice of reason. But then again, in the last Republican debate, Donald Trump and Marco Rubio literally had a dick measuring contest. So, interesting times. And as someone who gazes longingly toward Canada at the very thought of a Trump presidency, I do at least appreciate the effort. Of course, I would have appreciated the effort a lot more if it had been made, say, 9 months ago, or at any previous point over the last 40 years when the Republican Party was eagerly wooing the bigoted xenophobic base which is now turning out in droves to vote for Donald Trump. But hey, thanks for trying, Mitt. I can't give you a perfect score, of course, but I might go as high as 47%. The hardest part's only picking 5. Catch you next time. Hey folks, hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please like it, share it, subscribe to this channel if you're not subbed already, and also please consider helping me to make more videos like this one by supporting this channel through Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron. Thanks for watching.